I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog. There's no doubt about it.
All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tank don't really care, you know? So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts.
Mike Tyson recently reached out to Gervonta Davis, offering some personal advice on how to defeat Jake Paul in their upcoming fight. Tyson, who once shared the ring with Jake in their widely publicized exhibition, finally spoke up about what he really thought of Jake's power and the entire experience, and his comments surprised a lot of people. Tyson admitted he barely remembers the fight, which says plenty on its own. "I don't remember much of the fight," Tyson said. "I kind of blanked out for a bit. You know what? I just remember coming back after the first round, and the next thing I know, Jake was bowing or doing some kind of gesture. That's the last thing I remember. It wasn't a knockout or anything crazy." But Tyson admitted he was shocked by how sore he felt afterward. "I don't remember it, but my body was really sore," he said. "Yeah, my body, my chest, my stomach, everything was sore." According to Tyson, Tank needs to be careful of Jake's punches. However, he added that Jake Paul's shots are slower than what Tank is used to. If Tank can defend properly, Tyson believes winning will come easy for him.
You mean to tell me you start hitting Jake with some shit, he ain't gonna fight back? He said, fact. So I said, you got to take him serious. You get what I'm saying? Because he talked about, he had you on a hit list before this fight even happened. So his mental is on you. So you have to take him serious.
Still, many people can't ignore how one-sided this matchup looks on paper. Jake Paul walks around close to 200 pounds, solid and athletic, while Gervonta Davis is built like a tank, but at a much smaller scale, around 135 pounds. He's about 8 inches shorter and 60 pounds lighter. The size difference isn't even close. Fans are calling it a circus match. Many claim it's just a money grab, not a real fight. But that hasn't stopped the hype from spreading everywhere.
Tank Davis fight got moved to Miami.
I think Jake wins.
Jake's just so big, dude.
I think Jake wins.
This is different because it's similar. It's similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but Jake Paul boxing now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at that moment in time.
Once the fight was announced, everyone had an opinion, and one of the loudest voices came from legendary trainer Teddy Atlas. Teddy broke down the matchup on his YouTube channel and didn't hold back. "It was shocking," he said. "The size difference is so big, you can't ignore it. We all know about the talent gap and the experience difference, but that size difference, it jumps out at you. It's jaw-dropping." He said Davis looks compact and dangerous at his natural weight, where his power can crumble anyone. But next to Jake Paul, Atlas said it almost looks like they're from two completely different sports.
Tank looked very uncomfortable facing off. He just did. I've seen other face-off this Tank done. He gets in their face and they're intense and he looks good. He looked very meager up there. You've had 8 fights and you're gonna go tangle with Tank Davis. And the story instantly comes out. Jake is so much bigger. There is such a compliment to Jake within that insult. It is meant to be an insult. It is meant to take away from a potentially glorious moment.
Teddy even joked that Tank might need a ladder just to reach Jake's chin. Still, he didn't count Davis out. He reminded everyone that boxing history has seen smaller fighters take down giants before. If he lands clean on Jake's chin, with the way he punches, Atlas said, Jake might be doing a little dance. Knowing Tank's precision, that might not be too far.
Look at this face-off, Henry. What are your thoughts here?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like
cringe about it.
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put the hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you fight Jake Paul?
Oh, hell yeah. You got to give Jake.
While the experts debate, fighters like Danny Garcia see the situation in a totally different way. Garcia, who has fought across several weight divisions and understands the grind of boxing, thinks people are missing the bigger picture. It's business, plain and simple, Garcia told TMZ Sports. A lot of people hate on it, but if they were in Gervonta's position, they'd be happy. That's how I see it. He's not wrong. This fight will draw millions of viewers, huge paydays, and crossover buzz that boxing rarely gets these days. If I were in Gervonta's shoes, Garcia continued, I'd be thrilled. It's a massive payday. I'm fighting in front of millions around the world. And that's what boxing is about, making money and showing your skills. He even added, the fight doesn't even count. You'd be crazy not to take it.
It's entertainment. It's entertainment. Both guys are getting paid, and at the end of the day, anybody can say what they want to say, but at the end of the day, this game is about getting checks. And that's what they're doing. You know, it's entertainment. I'm pretty sure after this fight, Gervonta is going to go back to fighting fighters and then Jake Paul go fight a fighter. But I think it's the.
In a sport where one punch can end a career, taking a low-risk, high-reward fight makes total sense, especially one that doesn't affect your record. For Tank, this isn't just about money. It's exposure to a brand new audience, many of whom never watched boxing before Jake Paul came along. For Jake, it's a chance to prove he can share the ring with a truly elite fighter, even if the weight advantage leans in his favor.
You think that it's fair to call them boxers now? We talk about Logan brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did. You just couldn't get the knockout. And he tried to knock him out for sure.
While fans argue over whether this fight even makes sense, Gervonta's longtime coach Calvin Ford isn't thinking about fame or money. Like Mike Tyson, his main concern is safety. Ford has been with Davis since his Baltimore days, shaping him from a knockout-hungry kid into one of boxing's biggest names. And to him, this Jake Paul matchup comes with real risks. Jake Paul and Tank have been going back and forth for years. Ford told Fight Hype, "I gotta worry about his safety, you know?" They've talked about this one for a long time, and people don't understand that still. Ford didn't completely dismiss Jake either.
The only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s. So he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said,
In fact, he gave Jake Paul credit for how far he's come. One thing I can say about Jake, he's good at what he does, and he's been putting in work. That's why he's where he is, Ford said. But his concern remains serious. This fight is risky. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. I don't know all the details yet. Gloves, weight class, there's a lot still unclear, but my main focus is keeping Tank safe.
Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Does Davis have a chance?
Gervonta is a great boxer, but he ain't gonna do.
So you got Jake Paul by knockout, or?
No, I don't got anybody, but I don't think
he's just too small.
It's just. I don't want to beat up somebody that small. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of the fight?
I don't want to lose to somebody that.
Those logistics Ford mentioned could make or break the fight: the weight limit, glove size, and whether it's an exhibition or a professional bout. Those details will determine how real the match truly is. If they fight near cruiserweight, Tank will be far outside his comfort zone. But if the limit drops closer to 160 or below, Jake will have to drain himself to make weight, possibly affecting his power and timing. So far, no one knows the exact setup. The only certainty is that it's happening, and both fighters are training like it's personal.
Has gone too far. Jake Paul is taking on Gervonta Tank Davis in an exhibition bout this November. The fight will be taking place in Atlanta between the cruiserweight and the 135-pounder, nearly a 100-pound difference between the two guys. This is absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below.
That's where Tyson's advice comes in. Mike knows Jake's rhythm, stance, and preferred distance up close. If anyone can guide Davis on how to handle him, it's Tyson. Mike has always been about closing distance quickly, exploding on taller opponents before they can establish range.
Because he was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight, and now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if the main pages have posted this, but Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta, State Farm.
And he believes that's exactly what Tank needs to do here. Slip under Jake's jab, attack the body, and never let Jake fight tall. The size difference might look huge on paper, but fights aren't won on paper. Davis is quicker, sharper, and far more dangerous up close. If he can stay inside Jake's reach, that extra weight won't help Jake much.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. They just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over with.
Still, Jake Paul isn't the same rookie who started boxing in 2020. He's stronger, smarter, and more disciplined now. But Tyson and other boxing veterans believe Tank is on another level, a generational puncher with lightning-fast counters. If Tank lands clean, even against a bigger man, it could change the fight instantly.
I believe that this is a mismatch, and I believe that Jake Paul will knock Tank Davis out, maybe in the third, maybe in the fourth round. Tank will try to move, he will try to stick and move. It's not gonna work out for him, and he will eventually get knocked out.
That's exactly what David Benavidez sees too. To him, this isn't a circus or a gimmick, it's a real fight. He believes it'll end the way fans secretly hope it will, with someone on the canvas. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Benavidez said flat out that Gervonta Davis isn't the type to play it safe or dance around.
Entertaining fight, to be honest. Jake Paul has a lot of followings, a lot of guys that are going to come and watch, and that gives the opportunity for other fighters to be seen on those cards, you know. So a lot of people don't agree, but at the end of the day, for me, it's entertainment. And if we can take boxing to the next level and give other fighters opportunities to be displayed and for other people, YouTubers and all that, to be seen, and hopefully all the YouTubers and people there are just there.
He's the kind who destroys, Benavidez said. I'm not disrespecting Jake Paul or Tank's fight. It is what it is. I want to see it. It's wild because Jake Paul's a big guy, and he's been improving. But Gervonta Davis is Gervonta Davis. What I love about this fight is that he's smaller. But he's not just a boxer, he's a killer. Those were his exact words. Not a showman, not a puncher, but a killer. That kind of confidence says everything about what people expect from Davis.
It's kind of weird, because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank. And I mean, but with it being exhibition.
Benavidez admitted he's curious to see what happens if Jake actually lands a punch, because Jake's power is very real. He's knocked out legit fighters, and his shots carry weight. But the question is whether Jake can even catch Davis in the first place. I want to see how Tank reacts to one of Jake's punches. That's if Jake can even hit him, he said. This is going to be a great exhibition fight because Gervonta isn't going to run. He's going to try to hurt Jake every round. That's Tank's style. Patient but deadly, always moving forward and waiting for the perfect shot. Benavidez also broke down the size difference just like everyone else. Jake will weigh 190 and rehydrate to 210 against a guy who's 150 or 140, he said. If it's small gloves, it goes both ways. We're not hating. It's good for boxing. Hopefully, we get a knockout. I don't think it goes the distance.
Tank Davis or Jake Paul. So, immediately, yeah, the normal layman would say, oh, Tank Davis is better. But better at what? Is he better at selling tickets? Is he better at selling stadiums out? Is he better at creating controversy? Is he better at getting followed on Instagram? Is he better at putting more eyeballs on the boxing? Is he better than him at that? The answer would be no. But is he better at him in a fight? It has to be really, you have to break it down.
Then came Tony Bellew, the former WBC Cruiserweight champion, who gave his thoughts in his trademark blunt British style. Having fought real monsters in his career, people tend to listen when he talks. I can't wrap my head around this fight, Bellew said. I don't know what kind of freak show people are going to see, but people will definitely tune in. He didn't sugarcoat it. He knows it's a strange matchup, but still gave Tank massive credit. If Tank lands clean, Jake's going to sleep, Bellew said. Tank's got real power. If Jake Paul gets hit by Gervonta Davis with 8 ounces gloves, he's going to sleep.
He's a marketing genius, but when it comes to people depicting his fights, I can't get my head around it. If Tank hits him clean, he's going to sleep. He'll have a lot of smoke blowing up his backside by his coaching team and people like that, but when he gets hit for real, 10 ounce, well, I'm told it's 16 ounce gloves now, it's like an exhibition. Right. I'm told it's big gloves and head guards, he's going to need them.
Bellew doubled down, saying, I'd go as far as calling Tank the most exciting fighter in the world. He's vicious. He's a finisher. I just can't understand why he's fighting someone who's the size of a cruiserweight. His confusion echoes what many boxing fans feel. They know how dangerous Tank is, but the weight gap is hard to ignore. Before the glove size and rules were announced, few believed Gervonta could knock out Jake Paul. The size difference seemed too extreme, but Bellew doesn't think that matters. He's seen enough fights to know that power and timing can erase all logic in a single moment.
How about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown. Would you look at it as a joke if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him.
Did you ever do a fight like that?
I feel as though in my career I can't do that right now. I'm not a Floyd Mayweather. I ain't no Manny Pacquiao or no Canelo. I think that I should actually...
Meanwhile, Jake Paul is taking this fight seriously. He's not brushing it off or treating it like a joke. He's already building a strong sparring lineup full of fast, technical fighters. We've got some great guys coming in, Jake said. Really experienced southpaws, smaller guys. I think Montana Love is joining. Shocker Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We'll hit up Erickson Lubin too. We're bringing in a bunch of fast, shifty southpaws. That's an impressive lineup. Guys who can move, counter, and mimic Tank's style. It shows Jake knows what he's up against. He's not preparing for a brawl. He's training for speed, precision, and angles.
No, in some things, I think Gervonta's just gonna stick and move. He'll be fast, play it smart, I don't see him staying still for too long so Jake can land some shots. He'll just try to touch him. Who knows, man? It's an exhibition. It's a money grab.
Still, the biggest topic around this fight has been the rules. Fans were waiting to see how official it would feel, and at the New York press conference, MVP co-founder Nakisa Bidarian finally cleared it up. Both fighters will wear 12 ounces gloves, heavier than normal, and the weight limit will be 195 pounds.
You can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were to beat him or even knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him. Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way.
There will be 3 ringside judges scoring the fight, and it will go 10 rounds, 3 minutes each. Bidarian also confirmed there will be a winner, no fake endings, no decision results. There will be a victor, he said. Both fighters agreed, and the commission approved it. So even though it's technically an exhibition, someone's walking away with bragging rights.
Maybe he'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money. But from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me. And if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
it's a huge.
The 12 ounces gloves, though, change a lot. Heavier gloves mean more protection and fewer clean knockouts. But they don't make punches soft. They just force fighters to work harder to land solid shots. And with Tank's accuracy, one clean punch could still end it. Jake, meanwhile, will have the reach and power advantage. With those gloves, he can throw with force and worry less about injuring his hands. It's a small detail, but one that could shape the entire fight.
What do you think of Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis? I know on Instagram you called it a circus.
Yeah, this is boxing is slowly turning into the WWE. That's what I think.
Does Tank Davis have a chance?
Yes, but
yeah?
I don't even want to talk about it. Don't ask me a question like that again.
Yeah, right.
Not everyone's thrilled about how this came together. Lamont Roach Jr., who fought Davis to a majority draw earlier this year, said he was blindsided when the Jake Paul fight was announced. He was literally at a spa with his mom when the news broke. My mom's a little animated and a bit too explicit for interviews. He laughed while telling USA Today. So that explains her reaction. Roach stayed calm, but it was clear he wasn't happy.
Jake went for the jugular. Jake comes back and says, anybody that puts his hands on a woman is a scumbag, and that's you. Tank responds. In the world of responses, it was as bad as it gets. In defense of himself, makes a comparison to P. Diddy. Jake literally just puts his head down. It's like, man. And I think that Jake was...
On March 1st, he fought Davis in a bout many called controversial. Most fans thought Roach deserved the win. He said Davis had promised him a rematch, but clearly chose another route. I'm accepting that he's just scared to get back in the ring with me, Roach said. I saw this coming, him dodging the rematch. But this doesn't seem to bother Tank. What do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates.